A friend of mine found this old General Electric radio in a dumpster. And this one's going back a long ways, and it's in pretty terrible shape. The case is kind of rotted and etc. But I'd say this goes back somewhere in the early 60s maybe. It had 4 D cells in it that leaked. I threw those out, some old Rayovacs that were leaking all over. 4 of them. Here's the layout here. You can see the tuning capacitor here. You got your IF transformers. This is probably an audio output transformer, I would imagine. So it just runs on batteries. Some old caps. The volume control's missing. I can scrounge up one of those. I think I might hook up a bench supply and see if the thing even works. This isn't really worth fixing. It's got some neat parts in it though. I always salvage the capacitors, the transformers, some of the things like that. Sometimes you can get some hard to find transistors too, some old germanium ones. I'll have to check and see what are in here. Wouldn't be surprised if these are germanium here. Yeah, here's a package here. This might be a diode in the detector, possibly. It's on the other side of the IF transformers here. Anyway, I'm going to hook a bench supply up to it just for fun and see if we get any output on it. So this was a old portable radio. There's no model number. Well, let's see. Some numbering on the speaker, but I don't think that's a model number. There's nothing on the outside to show. Oh, wait, I take that back. It's on the lid. Let's see what it says here. Model number P-795B as in Bravo. And it came in black, blue, and beige. I'll be darned. Yeah, it's just standard broadcast 540 to 1600, the old version here. I don't see a date on it. Maybe get my stronger glasses on maybe. Anyway, hook it up and see if we get any output. Well, this is interesting. There's actually some information on this radio on the internet. Here's on the Radio Museum site here. The P-795 looks like 1959 to 64. So this was around a long time ago. 5 AM circuits, broadcast only, medium wave. 4D cells. And usually they tell you how many transistors are in them. In the old days they'd say it's a 5 transistor or whatever. Oh, here they say they have 2 audio frequency stages. Wow. Oh, and here they list the semiconductors. Okay. 7 of them. Yeah. We've got some old transistors here. Wow. 2N192. Well, we have 4 D cells in series, so that's 6 volts. Got it on 6 volts. And we'll set the current. Well, let's see. And to power it up, I'll just use a needle nose to turn the volume control. Maybe.
The Trump administration could look at. The Trump
I'll be
administration
darned.
can dig into rulemaking
It
in
works.
the EPA. The Trump administration can look at the...
Well, I'm surprised.
Balance is when there's no time to get in on the action.
A little noisy. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, fluorescent light.
Force working on these items.
Yeah.
Yes.
Regardless of what Congress says, we're not going to spend taxpayer money on fraud. And let's see what happens.
Sounds
or
a little
at least, at the
better.
very least, there's been so you can argue
With the case
there's been
closed.
so little oversight that we need to investigate, knowing what happened with COVID dollars. COVID dollars get shoveled out the door, by the way, and then became baseline spending. So everybody understands, we didn't just have one-time COVID spending.
Yeah, watch when I turn the LED light on. Varies with the intensity. Boy, these are dirty power supplies in these lights. Anyway, what should I do with this thing? It's doesn't even have FM in it. Kind of interesting though. I might look on the internet and see if I can find a schematic for it. It'd be kind of fun. See how they used to do it here. Yeah, not a real efficient radio, that's for sure. Anyway, a little journey down history here. Well, this is kind of interesting here. This is the semiconductor complement of this radio. And I looked up the specs on them. Every single solid state component in this thing is germanium. It's amazing these things actually work. 2N168A, you can look at the specs here. The 20 milliamp for IC, beta 40, collector base of 15, collector emitter of 15. And going down the list here, you can look at each device here. I had a discrepancy here between the old GE transistor manual, the first edition. I had a couple discrepancies in the collector base voltage, but you can see why vacuum tubes hung on for as long as they did. In fact, the new Vista tube was an attempt to prolong the operation of tubes. These old solid-state germanium transistors, they leaked a lot of current and their gain was low, but that's what they had to work with back then. So anyway, I'm not going to restore this radio. It just isn't too bad a shape, but I don't think I'm not going to cannibalize it. I don't know. For nostalgia purposes, it's kind of neat. But it, like I say, actually works after all these years, which is pretty amazing. Of course, the batteries were left in it. This is common with all these old pieces of equipment I get, whether it's old voltmeters or whatever. If they had batteries in them and they left the batteries, you got problems. They leak. That's why whenever you get something or have something that has batteries, when the batteries get weak or die, take them out because they seem to always leak once they run out of power. Anyway, it's interesting to look at the solid state complement of this radio. It's amazing how they were able to squeak out performance back in those days. But making a portable radio with vacuum tubes, it was pretty tough. You know, you needed your filament supply, etc. So I imagine when this came out, people were pretty amazed with it. You know, using 4 D cells to power it. Anyway, what should I do with this old thing here? It works, but it's in such bad shape, I don't think it's really worth playing around too much. But we'll see. Maybe I'll put a little time into it, clean up the controls, and maybe put a lithium battery in it. But anyway, that would be kind of fun to look into this one. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.